Welcome to another GrimmSpeed install video. My name is Will, and today we're going to be talking about the Subaru 3-inch downpipe to OEM or OEM style exhaust adapter. This will fit with both donut and flat style gaskets. So for today's install, the necessary tools are going to be a 14mm socket, a 16mm socket, a 14mm wrench, a 16mm wrench, of course a socket wrench for the sockets, some sort of scraping or cleaning device, a flathead screwdriver, maybe some sandpaper, and some lubrication for the exhaust hangers. Now to start off, this is the OEM exhaust attached to an aftermarket downpipe. As you can see, there is some black soot underneath it, and we should hear a leak here pretty fast. So to remove the two bolts, we're going to need a 14mm wrench on the right hand side and a 16mm socket on the left hand side. Now the reason we're using a 16mm socket on the left hand side is that the bolt head is actually sunken into the flange, thus making it a little difficult with a wrench to get in there. Depending on the style of flanges though, you may switch it up and use a 16mm wrench and a 14mm socket, or both wrenches or both sockets. Now we're pulling out the OEM gasket, and it's obviously visible where the leaks are on this gasket. Now we're going to lubricate the middle exhaust hanger. Now once this is lubed up, you can simply use a little bit of force and the hanger should be removed. Now it should be able to hang from the rear hangers near the muffler. If you want to make sure that it is not going to sag too much, you can use a couple zip ties and tie the flange you just connected up to the car's body. Now looking at the OEM exhaust flange, you can see there is a lot of buildup on here. It could be from previous gaskets, it could be just carbon buildup. So what we did is we wanted to make sure we could clean it off so that way we have a smooth mating surface. We tried a couple of different methods here, but inevitably you want to finish it up with a good sandpaper to make sure that that flange is very flat and smooth. Now here's the adapter. The OEM donut gasket would go on the side that is not flared. This would be going back into your OEM exhaust. The side that is flared is going to get a flat gasket and would be going into your aftermarket downpipe. Simply push it in there and line up the holes. Now on ours, because of the shape of the downpipe, it was slightly tight, so we had to use a hammer to just tap it in the rest of the way, make sure the holes stay lined up. On most applications, it should slide right in. Then we're going to put the donut gasket on. We're going to push back on the OEM exhaust towards the back of the car to fit this up over the OEM donut gasket. Make sure not to crush this gasket. Then we're going to take a bolt with a washer and go through the same way they were removed. Now, with the washers, you might need to place a washer between the OEM exhaust flange and our adapter. Now what this is going to do is allow you to torque down this flange slightly tighter. It will totally depend on your setup and if you are getting any leaks in this preferred method. But please be advised that this is an option if need be. Now we're going to torque evenly back and forth so that way we get an even pressure across the donut gasket. Then once that's finished, start the car back up and reach underneath, unless the car is above you like we have on a lift here. Feel around the flange, make sure not to touch it because it will be very hot, to see if there are any leaks. If you do not sense any leaks, then you should be good to go. If there are leaks, loosen it back up and re-tighten back and forth. Congratulations.